Chapter 2. Emma's eyes flutter open to the soft morning light filtering through her bedroom curtains. For a blissful moment, last night seems hazy, like a strange dream. Then her phone erupts with a barrage of notifications, jolting Emma fully awake. She grabs her phone with a sinking realization. The public spat with her rival Isabella played out in front of dozens of witnesses, and now has gone viral overnight. As Emma scrolls through her feeds, the fallout seems inescapable. Gossip blogs blaze with headlines like, "Influencer Throwdown, Emma and Isabella's Epic Clash at Launch Party." Memes and reaction videos parroting their confrontation proliferate. Even mainstream news sites are picking up the scandal, questioning the authenticity of Instagram-famous personas. With growing unease, Emma types her name into the search bar. The autofill suggestions say it all. Emma Langford fake, Emma Langford drama, Emma Langford cancelled. Each query yields endless hot takes, snarky commentary, and former fans renouncing her. Emma's chest tightens. In a single evening, her meticulously honed image lies in tatters. Years spent cultivating an aspirational yet relatable personal brand, only to have it publicly challenged and scrutinized. For the first time, doubt flickers through Emma's mind. Is this career she's built around illusion sustainable? When your livelihood relies on maintaining a facade, a single crack can bring the whole artifice crashing down. The ceaseless buzz of Emma's phone interrupts her brooding. Lucas, her manager, floods her with texts urging her to check her email. With a growing pit in her stomach, Emma opens her inbox. She's bombarded with concerned notes from sponsors, awkwardly hinting at reassessing brand partnerships and weathering recent challenges. The subtext is clear. Her damaged reputation now makes her a risky investment. The luxurious lifestyle she enjoys courtesy of these lucrative deals could crumble at any moment. Emma's breath quickens as she reads the messages. The coconut water brand says they're exploring other influencer options. The trendy athleisure line is reevaluating their ambassador program. Even obscure startups she promoted on a whim are distancing themselves from the controversy. Panic rises as Emma imagines the consequences. No more gifted designer clothes and accessories, trips to exotic photo shoot locales, or generous commissions for referral codes. The perks that make the grind of influencing worthwhile gone. Without this income, how long can she afford her glamorous high-rise apartment? The thought of losing this world she's built makes Emma's head spin. Reeling, Emma opens Instagram, hoping for solace from her loyal followers. Instead, her comments and DMs overflow with backlash. Former superfans vent their feelings of betrayal. Emma's preteen devotees bemoan the loss of their role model. Their idols fall from grace. "We thought you were real but are just fake," reads one message. Even older fans express disappointment, accusing her of deceit. "Girl, you played us. All lies." Each notification lands like a blow as Emma watches her fan base turn against her. She built her influencer empire on parasocial connection. Now, her followers' sense of intimate friendship magnifies their feelings of betrayal tenfold. They had invested in not just her products and posts, but her persona. And Emma had shattered that illusion in one infamous night. As the hours pass in a blur, Emma grows numb from the barrage. Any response she types feels inadequate. How can she defend a version of herself that no longer feels real? When your entire career relies on illusion, truth becomes meaningless. So, Emma simply watches in silence as her online kingdom turns against her, helpless as the tides shift. Days pass, stretching into a week after the disastrous event. The initial surge of backlash subsides, though Emma's reputation remains tarnished. She avoids posting or engaging, laying low until the controversy blows over. But her social media accounts still demand attention. Scrolling through comments one morning, Emma notices something strange. Among the scorned fans and gossip mongers, anonymous accounts post eerie messages. "We know the real you. Stop hiding behind your lies." The cryptic words send a chill through Emma. She blocks the accounts, but similar messages continue popping up, always from users with default icons and no posts. It's as if an unseen watcher lurks, tracking her online activity. For the first time, Emma feels unsafe in the virtual world she dominated. Someone out there seems to be sending her a warning. In the weeks after the scandal, Emma ventures out cautiously, craving human interaction but dreading being recognized. She notices odd occurrences around town that put her even more on edge. Her favorite barista, normally so warm and chatty, avoids eye contact and responds to Emma's order with clipped sentences. Walking city streets in oversized sunglasses and a ball cap, Emma detects furtive glances and hushed whispers trailing her. At boutiques, salespeople who once fawned over the influencer now seem to give her a wide, frosty berth. Emma knows her reputation precedes her now, but the subtle social slights cut deep. She finds herself constantly glancing over her shoulder, watching for paparazzi or gossip hounds eager for a scandalous shot. Even home offers no respite. Her sleek high-rise with its floor-to-ceiling windows leaves her feeling exposed, like some zoo creature on display in a sterile cage. The gnawing sense of being constantly watched grinds Emma down. Each strange look or odd comment fans the flickering paranoia. She replays her confrontation with Isabella endlessly, imagining how she could have diffused the situation. But the damage is done now. Someone out there seems determined to ensure Emma does not forget it. Curled up on her couch with a glass of wine, Emma jumps when her apartment buzzer rings out sharply. She presses the intercom. "Who is it?" "It's Lucas. We need to talk." Her manager's voice crackles through the speaker, firm and insistent. With a weary sigh, Emma buzzes him up. She's been dodging Lucas' calls and emails for days, but he won't be deterred any longer. When Lucas arrives, the usually polished manager looks slightly disheveled, his expression tense. Emma braces herself as he launches right into a lecture. "Emma, what are you doing? Your metrics have tanked. Follower count is dropping, engagement is in the toilet, and brand interest is non-existent. This is a crisis." Emma flinches, stung by his candor. Lucas begins pacing, spitballing solutions, but Emma zones out. Of course he sees this only through the lens of declining views and dollars. He doesn't grasp her deeper turmoil. This identity crisis is years in the making. The facade shattered because it was fragile at its core. "Are you even listening to me?" Lucas snaps, noting her vacant stare. "You need to fix this. Regain control of the narrative, make a big public apology, get ahead of the gossip, and prove to your followers you're still their girl." Indignation flares in Emma at Lucas dictating PR fixes, as if her feelings are a commodity. "Don't tell me how to manage my audience. They're not pawns for damage control." "Wake up, Emma. That audience is your career," Lucas retorts. The tense exchange escalates quickly into a shouting match that ends only when Emma demands Lucas get out, refusing to let him spin her crisis for clicks. After he departs, she locks the door and slumps down against it, head in hand. For years, she has allowed Lucas to pull the strings, molding her into a lucrative online spectacle. But his manipulation has only led her farther astray from knowing her true self and what matters most in life. In the silence following Lucas's visit, Emma's mind swirls with self-doubt. Gazing around her lavish apartment, she suddenly sees the trappings of influencer success in a new light. The minimalist designer furniture seems cold and empty. Appliances and electronics intended for aspirational photo backdrops now feel absurd. She trails her fingers along a rack of designer bags, once thrilling gifts from sponsorships, now gaudy symbols of excess. This supposedly dream lifestyle had fulfilled her once. But the rigorous effort required to maintain her influential standing has drained Emma. Physically and emotionally exhausted, constantly hustling for likes and deals and relevance, all at the cost of self-knowledge. Emma sinks onto the couch, grappling with uncomfortable truths. She became an influencer hoping to inspire others, but somewhere along the way, that noble goal got distorted. She allowed online metrics and materialism to eclipse her values. Worst of all, the temptation to present a polished veneer hid her from herself. Now her glamorous persona rejected by the fickle public it relied upon, Emma must face the uncomfortable question, without the hype, who is she? The next morning, Emma takes a deep breath and opens Instagram. She spent hours drafting a heartfelt yet professional apology to her followers. It explains her side of the clash with Isabella and promises more honesty going forward. This is her chance to regain trust and salvage her reputation. Emma's stomach churns with nerves as she goes live. She pours her heart out, admitting mistakes and vowing to reconnect with her true self beyond the hype. Glancing at the comment feed, she's encouraged to see a smattering of hearts and words of support. But it doesn't last. As more viewers join, snide skepticism dominates the chat. "Girl, who are you kidding? We don't believe you. Too late for fake apologies." The comments snowball into an avalanche of criticism and mockery. Emma tries to engage sincerely, but it only spurs more antipathy. This mob mentality bewilders her. Just days ago, the same followers hung on her every word, trusting whatever she promoted. Now they're out for blood. Cheeks burning, Emma abruptly ends the live video. She collapses back on her bed, burying her face in a pillow as harsh reality sets in. The fans who once amplified her status now relish watching her fall. There will be no neat redemption arc here. You live and die by your online persona. In the weeks following Emma's public meltdown, her isolation grows. Former friends within the influencer community distance themselves, leaving Emma's texts unanswered and excluding her from events. Emma's friendship with Zoe, another top lifestyle blogger, had been one of her most treasured relationships. The two women bonded over the thrills and pressures of influencing, finding solace in each other's glamorous yet often lonely lives. Now Zoe seems to have ghosted Emma completely. She ignores Emma's invites for coffee and girls' night in. Her social media shows Zoe out clubbing with other creators, with no Emma in sight. It's as if their years-long friendship never existed. At first, Emma feels betrayal burn hot inside her, but as days of isolation drag on, the anger shifts to sadness. Zoe and those other smiling, shiny influencers had been the closest thing Emma had to family in this cutthroat business. Now cast out and alone, Emma must confront how superficial those bonds were. Restless one evening, Emma falls down an internet rabbit hole of gossip blogs, bracing for the latest snarky takes on her downfall. One sensationalist post makes her blood run cold. The exclusive exposé reveals private details about Emma's mental health struggles and childhood insecurities, disclosing information that only someone close to her could know. As Emma reads the betrayals laid bare, suspicion hardens into certainty. There is only one person who could be the source of these vicious leaks. Zoe, her supposed best friend and confidant, is trying to sabotage what's left of Emma's career. Emma's shock shifts to rage. How could she so profoundly misjudge the person who posed as her greatest supporter? A profound sense of disillusionment washes over Emma. In this online world of images and egos, even deep bonds are based on mutual gain, not true care. When convenience shifts, closest allies pivot to enemies. Nothing is as it seems. Consumed with betrayal, Emma impulsively decides to confront Zoe face to face. She finds Zoe's location tagged at a trendy downtown cafe via Instagram stories. Emma storms inside in full sleuth mode, spotting Zoe chatting with another influencer. "We need to talk now." Emma's tone brooks no argument. Zoe's friend makes a hasty exit as Emma takes the seat opposite a stony-faced Zoe. "I know it was you," Emma snaps. "Those posts with details about me could only have come from you." Zoe is silent at first, slowly stirring her tea. Then she meets Emma's eyes coldly. "So what, if I shared some things, you were on your way down anyway, I just helped speed that along." Emma reels, stung by Zoe's callous admission. This was no simple gossip leak, but calculated character assassination between supposedly close friends. "Is your Instagram brand so fragile that my failure threatened it? Was our whole friendship a lie?" Emma's voice cracks with emotion. Zoe shrugs, unaffected. "It's just business, hun. I need to look out for my interests." Their argument grows heated, but Zoe remains unapologetic about exploiting Emma's downfall for social media clout and brand deals. As they hurl biting accusations, Emma feels her last illusions about influencer loyalty shatter. This friendship had been transactional all along. Emma flees the cafe in tears, barely noticing the stares of patrons. She had come seeking closure, but instead, the wounds of betrayal cut deeper than ever. Now utterly alone, Emma must accept the cold realities of the online world she inhabited for so long. That evening, Emma walks for hours, aimlessly winding through downtown streets in a daze of disbelief. How had she been so wrong about the motives of those closest to her? Why couldn't she see the hollowness behind their smiling Instagram photos and motivational quotes? The bitter autumn wind bites through Emma's fashionable coat as she shuffles along, lost in thought. For years, she bought into the hype of internet fame, believing it could offer purpose and human connection. But in the end, it only amplified her isolation. Emma stops short, struck by a realization. Since childhood, her deepest fear has been loneliness. Craving recognition, she became an influencer chasing applause and acceptance from strangers. But no number of likes can fill the void inside her. Standing outside the glitzy venue where she first confronted Isabella, Emma finally sees her situation with clarity. The night feels oddly full of promise. With her online persona stripped away, Emma can focus on neglected relationships and passions, and rebuild her life on foundations of self-knowledge rather than fleeting hype. The fanciful artifice she created lies in ruins, but with its collapse, Emma feels something like hope stirring faintly within.